last year's ranking, where he was number 9 to number 100. Cody Bellinger, the same year that Yelich was number 2, was number 3 in all of baseball on this list. He's down 89 spots from last year's ranking to 99. Mike Lowell, is this where they belong?
Well, considering their injuries, yes, it's where they belong, because we got to take everything into account. Talent-wise, no, I think after 1 year, they could be back in the top 10 in this list. But when I look at Christian Yelich, for me, it's a health issue. You know, how chronic is his back? Is it a chronic thing, or is it something where he's just battling through it for the last couple of years? We look back at 2018 and 19. He was the best player on the planet, not named Mike Trout.
Yeah.
It was really incredible how he basically took the Brewers on his back, led them to the postseason, and he's just a talent that's different when he's healthy.
Well, I think what we look for in both players is what is the future for both players, right? And when I look at Christian Yelich, I was lucky enough to cover David Wright through some of his great seasons, a back injury, and those tools being taken away because of that injury. And I don't want to see that happen to Yelich. David Wright was as good a player that you'd ever want in your organization. Yet he meant as much to the Mets as Yelich means to the Milwaukee Brewers. And you hope that down the road that Yelich will be able to fix that back issue and get back on the field and do what he did in 18 and 19. And then as far as Bellinger's concerned, did you watch him in the postseason?
He was great.
What happened? I mean, he was able to flip the switch, maybe having the days off. He was able to nurse that shoulder that he had operated on. We saw a Dodger player, Matt Kemp. Remember when he had those MVP seasons? Hurt his shoulder. For a couple of years, he was MIA. So maybe Bellinger's the one that's going to come back strong.
Yelly and Belly. I mean, if you believe in the talent, which I know you do and I do for sure, there's no reason why those guys can't back on track and replicate the 2019 seasons this year. I think they're big expectations for both.
I think they nailed it. You know, the concern of Yelich's back is a lot like Don Mattingly. You know, when Mattingly's back went, and they talk about David Wright right there, very difficult in this sport to have a bad back. That's just so much torque going on. Bellinger, that was a shoulder rehab that didn't go right, didn't work right. As you saw him get stronger in his rehabilitation of the shoulder, the swing came back. I look for him now having a full off season and even extra weeks during the lockout to really come back strong this year.
Yeah, wait a minute. Belly and Yelly were watched by Nelly. Man, that's
getting hot
That
here,
is
man.
enough to tie your Scotch-Irish tongue in knots.
Don't
Nelly
sleep on the earring either.
took in a Cactus League game. Watch the Brewers and Dodgers. Okay. So Keith Costas joins us for something he's created, Yelly, Belly, or Nelly. Keith, take it away.
Well, guys, it's pretty straightforward. We've got 9 facts, either Yelly, Belly, or Nelly. Your job here is to decide which of the 3 it applies to. First one we'll start with here. Whose brother was a 29th round pick of the Braves back in 2015, played 2 years in their system?
Yelly.
I was going to say Belly. Belly.
Matty, you're correct. That would be Yelly. Christian Yelich. Colin Yelich was a catcher, lasted 2 seasons. Christian signed the big contract, and I think he got on his coattails and said, that's enough minor league life for me.
Interesting.
Exactly. All right, guys. Second one. Who was a 3-sport star in high school and his team's leading receiver on the gridiron?
That's Nelly.
Nelly, that's correct. University City Lions, right outside of my hometown of St. Louis. All right, guys. Third one up. 1 home run as a high school senior. Who was that?
That's Belly.
I say that's Nelly.
That's Belly. Harold is correct. That was an oft-cited stat back in the day. Only 1 home run, now a rookie record as a high school senior.
There's only one more! There is only one
No, there's more than one more. Shush. You're
6
coming
more.
on early today.
6 more, dog. All right, number 4. This one disgusted me when I read it. Who grew up cheering for both the Dodgers and the Yankees? A little bit of a front runner here.
That's Yelly.
That is Yelly. Grew up, obviously, on the West Coast. Said he was more of a Jeter guy, but grew up going to Dodger games, so grew up rooting for both coastal powers. Don't love that, but the facts are what they are. All right, guys, 5th one. Who put himself on scouts' radars at tryouts for both the Bucks and the Braves?
Nelly.
Nelly is correct. I know,
Shortstop.
Harold, you're familiar with his background. Talked about it a couple weeks ago. Shortstop in high school, had some legitimate interest, but rapping was in his future, and I think he made the right decision. All right, guys. 6th one. Whose grandfather is credited with designing the Rams horn logo?
That's Yelly.
Take a guess!
That is Yelly. You guys are acing this so far. His grandfather played in the NFL and designed that Rams horn when they were in L.A. the first time. All right,
I didn't
guys.
know that, but I
Who
got it
played
right.
in both the World Series and the Little League World Series?
Oh, that
What
was
is Venus?
Belly.
That is Belly, and
Played
it's just
for his dad.
it's just a vehicle to get to this next question. Who once attended a pool party at Eric Burns' house?
Oh, that's
Nelly.
Jelly.
That is
I mean,
not
Belly,
Nelly. It would be an
Belly,
incredible
Bellinger.
story if Burns was holding a pool party with Nelly, but it's actually Belly. We have the footage here to prove it.
Yep.
Oh, look at our man there working the grill. Is that?
That's Cody Bellinger.
That's young Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. Right
And
there.
he's looking at Burns and he's thinking to himself, this guy played in the big leagues?
I can do that.
I got a shot.
I thought he was thinking more Kindred Spirit when he looked at Burns, but that's just me. All right, guys, last one. Who recorded a song for the movie starring the guy who smacked Chris Rock last night?
Was it Eric Burns?
It was not Eric Burns, guys. It was Nelly. Shake Your Tail Feather, Bad Boys 2. Bringing it all together here.
Good stuff, man. Calling back to the story of the day, the punch heard around the world at the Oscars yesterday.
That's still amazing.
Good stuff, Keith.
Unbelievable.
I love it. Hey, Keith is happy today because there's a familiar face coming back to St. Louis, and Dodger fans are happy because their skipper's in the fold with a new deal. We'll talk about Dave Roberts' new contract next on Hot Stove.
Make your move, partner.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel card for you. Venture X. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Venture X. What's in your wallet?
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates.